Toys from Came from the Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con. And I'm here at the New York Winter Con, and I'm here with
Bill Galluccio from Empire Saber Guild.
And what is the Empire Saber Guild? Let's start off with that.
All right, we are a non-profit, Lucasfilm-recognized lightsaber stage combat group. It's quite a mouthful, but...
All right, so let's break it down.
All right,
Lucas approved.
Yes, basically, like, they allow us to use their characters and their, their brand to do shows, we don't work for them, they don't endorse us or pay us or anything, but they allow us, they don't come after us with C&Ds and things like that.
No lawyers, no lawyers.
We're a fan group, kind of like the 501st.
Okay.
We're kind of like them. We do different, we performed it earlier today, did a show on stage here. We've done Brooklyn Cyclone games. We do shows at hospitals for kids and things like that. But the big component is the charity. We're a non-for-profit. So today we're raffling off some artwork to buy toys for Tots. We're also taking toy donations. And when this is done, we're going over to Toys R Us. Going on a little shopping spree to buy some toys and dropping them all off for Toys for Tots.
So how did this start? How did this come into play?
There's a group, New York Jedi, that's formed 8-10 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And, a few years ago, some of our members who actually just moved out to Seattle and started a temple there decided that they wanted to be a little more canon. That's the thing. All of our stuff is canon. It has to be approved and set up, approved by people that decide canon. So, we can't, you can't have any, steampunk Jedi or Han Solo, it's got to be with something that's within the universe and that is believable within the universe.
Okay, so that actually brings up an interesting question. Because as you know, Disney said that all the other stuff never happened. It is now out of canon.
Yes.
So does that mean you guys have to change everything? Or how do you deal with that?
We are one temple out of a group in the whole country, and the guys in California are the founders, Temple Prime. They have a committee, and we submit, we get our costumes, submit them, and they kind of tell you, But a lot of it, basically for us, if it's on screen, it's canon. Now I'm obviously, my character is from the Old Republic, so it's you have a little more freedom, but, and it's really tough for the Jedi. Jedi have a really hard time with costumes because there's color combinations that you can't use, only certain colors. Sith have a little more leeway because, that's just how it is. They're seen on screen.
So when you make up a costume, you design it first and then see if it gets approved, or do you already have a guideline, a chart?
They have guidelines that will, for basics, the basic guidelines, and, when I submitted this, they critiqued it, denied me originally because this was too shiny, so we put some battle damage on it, and things like that to make it a little more like I'm an actual warrior. I'm not just some fresh guy right out of the academy, things like that. So the mask has to be approved, things like, so it is a process, and it's a little difficult, which is why we'll help people navigate it. Like me, when I joined, I didn't know what was going on, but they really helped me, and they really, just like anything, it also forces you to really think. And, instead of just being lazy and, throwing on some, robes and calling yourself a Jedi or a Sith, you actually have to really make it look right, because when we're walking around, we want people to recognize us as being Star Wars, we really, that's, we want to bring it to life for all the other people. So.
And if I wanted to join up, or anybody who's watching or listening to us, where would they go?
All right, you can find us on Facebook. Just search Empire Saber Guild or EmpireSaberGuild.com. We have classes every city in Manhattan at Danny Studios, which is at 38th Street between 8th and 9th Avenue from 7 to 9. So if you're interested in joining, come to a class. We got spare sabers. We'll put a saber in your hand, and if you really want to take the next step, we will help you and get you a costume and figure out a costume, figure out a character for you, and, we'll help you design a custom saber. Like mine is a custom built that I designed with the black hilt, the copper, and the red blade, But you want a purple blade? We'll get you that. We'll work with you to make a character that fits you.
And you also mentioned that there's different chapters. So
yes.
People who aren't in New York, where can they go?
Yes, you can just go to saberguild.com, and there's information about how to join. That's where all the costume standards are, and they'll put you in connection with a local Saber Guild branch. And if you don't have a local one, they'll help you start it up. Like our founding members of the Empire Saber Guild, they just moved out to Seattle and started up a few weeks ago Jet City Temple, and they're having classes and doing, starting from scratch and designing costumes, and they're, And I envy them because we see photos of their rehearsal space and it's giant and huge and awesome, and we're sitting in a little, not a small space, but New York City.
Comparatively speaking,
Yeah, New York City, things are not a lot of real estate, but out there they got so.
All right, so Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody, make sure it's Empire
Saber Guild.
Saber Guild. Empire Saber Guild.
Find us on Facebook or just hashtag ESG.
ESG.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank
This is
you.
Mark Torres signing off from the NY WinterCon in Resorts World Casino from It Came From the Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con.